Hey guys, the makeup I used to recreate the Gita Vishwas look on public demand. I thoroughly cleansed my face. After that, I used a makeup hack Bellura Cosmetics lipstick as a corrector for all my blemishes and under eyes, the dark areas. After this, I blended it with a small little blender so that it becomes, blended into my skin. Then I used a Krylon pan stick. FS29 has a concealer lightly just to cover up the redness of the corrector. I used the PACK translucent powder just to keep the concealer and the corrector in place, just lightly. Then I used an NC30 MAC foundation and a Huda foundation because the Huda foundation is a little lighter for my skin and NC30 was a little dark. I mixed both together, the full coverage foundation. I used a blending brush and I just blended the entire mixture of the Huda and the MAC foundation after mixing it onto my skin. This is just the first application. I'm going to blend this with a blender because nothing like a blender, and the finishing that the blender gives, I don't think I can get that with a brush. I also cover my neck with the same foundation so that my neck area does not look different from my face. Once again, I'm using the foundation, but this time I've made it a little lighter by using the lighter foundation more and the darker one a little less. I mixed it in that way so that the T-zone gets a little brighter. This is the PACK blender. You get actually two blenders in this pack. One is for contouring and one is for the mixing. So here I am mixing the foundation well into my skin and making the T-zone brighter. Well, make sure that you wash the blender with a hand wash or a Dettol wash or something before using, because that's when it gets fluffy. Otherwise it's very hard and very difficult to use. I love the PACK blender because they are really very soft and fluffy and they blend the makeup very well into the skin. I take time to blend the makeup into my skin so that I get a good smooth finishing. It's very important. I would not like a blotchy or a uneven skin tone. So to get that even skin tone and that completely blended look, you need to spend some time in blending the makeup. The under eyes need to be taken care of. So I use the pointed area of the blender to mix the under eyes of my, the skin under my eyes. Now I'm taking the contouring blender. First I apply the Krylon dark contouring shade. It's called even dark Egyptian on my nose. I use it under my chin. I use it for my jawline as well as for my cheekbones. I like applying this with my fingers because I feel the heat of our skin blends the makeup and makes it more smoother. So I mix it between my fingertips before using it on the skin. Now I'm using the blender to blend in the contouring so it looks more natural and looks more like a shadow on your skin. The blending has to be done well, otherwise the contouring can look very tacky. It must look like a part of your natural contour. After the contouring is blended, I use a highlighter, a lighter foundation once again, so that the contouring and the shade in between should differentiate. It helps to highlight so that your contouring also stands out, and so does your highlight. You can also call this a bit of a anti-aging lifting makeup. Then once again I use the translucent powder to set in the entire foundation. This also helps to smoothen out the entire makeup and gives it a good finishing. Now I'm using the eyelash curler. I pump it 3 times to give that lift. Then I use an eyebrow shadow box. It could be any brand. I mix the black and the brown together to give a natural look, less of the black and more of the brown. I take the shadow in the direction of the hair growth so that it looks more real and natural. Of course, I'm going to brush it up also. And now it's time to brush the eyebrows and mix the shadows so that it looks like you have lots of hair in your brow, and it also gives a good definition to your eyebrows. Now I'm taking a Rouge blush on palette, and this is one of my hacks. I use it also for my eyeshadows. So here I am applying a light peach shade as a base coat for my eyeshadow. This is just the beginning because there's lots more to go. If you want to go the natural look, the completely natural look, you can stop with just this shadow and not apply anything else. But since I want a slightly more contoured eye shape, I want to highlight my eyes. I'm using a dark brown shade towards the socket. I'm using a rounded brush for that purpose. Since I have nice sockets, I like to contour them. It also depends on the shape of the eyes, so each one has to evaluate the eye shape. But this is what I did for this particular look. The whole idea and the whole art is in blending. Now I'm using the same shade, the same brown shade under my eyes, under the eyelids, so that it gives a good definition to my eyes and makes it look bigger. Blending is very important, so I spend more time in blending whatever makeup I'm doing. Yes, I'm talking also. मुंह बंद ही नहीं होता, चपड़ चपड़. Now I'm using a Tarte Glossy shadow palette to give that highlight to my eyelids. So it instantly lifts up the eyelids. So I did it on both the sides, and now I'm dusting away all that is extra on my face. Now I'm using the Tarte concealer. This is one of my favorites. I use it over the makeup. You can use it under the makeup, but I use it over the makeup because it also works as a highlight for my under eye as well as my cheekbone area. Now the whole thing is that you need to blend this well, otherwise it can look very chalky on your skin. But the whole magic is in blending, and you need to spend time in blending the makeup. I love these blenders. They do real magic for your makeup. I'm once again touching up my under eye powder because I feel it's become lighter with the concealer that I put under my eyes. As you can see, it's all blended well. Now I'm using the Maybelline Thick Lashes Mascara. I think they are the best because they give good definition to my eyelashes without using the false lashes. Since I've already curled my lashes, it's easier to apply the mascara and get that dramatic look. I use at least 3 coats up and down. I use 3 coats under my eyes and 3 coats over the eyelashes too, from above and from below. As you can see the difference between both the eyes. Once it's finished, you can see that the eyes have a better definition with the mascara. I think any eye makeup without mascara is incomplete. Now I'm using a thin pointed brush with the Krylon black eyeliner. I love eyeliners. I know that many people don't like using them, and many of them just, you know, smudge it up. But that's fine. If you like it smudged, even that looks great. I use smudge sometimes just for a variation, but I love the definition that an eyeliner gives to the eyes. And then I mix the ends again in this look. The wings that I had removed, I just want them to be blended into the shadow. So that's what I'm doing with the rounded brush. Now I'm using a highlighter, 2 shades from the Tate, eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to use them below my eyebrows to give that high eyebrow look. I already have an high eyebrow, but I just want a little bit more definition there. Now I'm using a dry contouring brush with the dry contour from my rouge palette, just to give a little more definition to the high cheekbone and to my nose shade and overall. This really gives a very glam look to the makeup. Now I'm using a light pink blush on. Go very slow with the blush ons if they have a high tint like mine, because then they can look too pinkish or too peachish. So here I'm doing it like going towards my forehead from my cheekbone, not going too very close to the eye area, so that I just get a tint on my cheekbone. Now I'm going to use the highlighter from the palette itself. You can use a separate highlighter. This is a very light highlighter and I like it that way. I don't want it too much highlighted. So I'm just using a light highlighter over the cheekbone area, over my nose bridge to give a highlight, and a little bit on the T-zone. Now I'm using a puff just to settle it all down and blend it up so it doesn't look too separated. Now I'm using a PAC liner in peach brown shade. I like doing my liner a little above my natural lip line so that I have a fuller lip look. Any which ways, I have thin lips and I like to give them fuller look. Now I'm using a tinted Vaseline just to make my lips softer, and I'm blending the liner with it, the lip liner. Now I'm going to use lipstick over this. I'm using a Nykaa lipstick palette and I'm going in for a blend of 2 shades to get this one shade. It's fun to have a palette where you can mix 2-3 colors and get one unusual color. These kind of shades give my lip a fuller look. I like the brown, peach, and the peachish pink shades. I like to go brown also, sometimes completely. I even like the reds, especially MAC reds. Now I'm finishing my makeup lastly by spraying a PSC fixer. Then I'm making my hair straight with a hairbrush straightener. It's faster and easy to use. And there you go. Here's my finished look, recreating the Gita Vishwas look of the 1990s and 2000s. If you like this video and think I did a good job with the look, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon for further notifications and also please comment below. Love to all the Shaktiman fans out there.